Nowadays, we often hear about the importance of kindness and putting other people's needs ahead of our own. But does anyone ever emphasize that being too kind and caring can also go wrong? In a world where reciprocity isn't guaranteed, we don't always get back what we give. And increasingly more generous people see how their excessive kindness empties them both financially but also emotionally. Could being too kind even put our own personal lives in danger? Maybe you already know the answer to this by now, but can't put it into words yourself, or simply need to hear it from somebody else to realize it. Today, we will discover together 7 bad things that can happen to you if you consistently lean towards being overly nice. Additionally, at the end, we will also reveal 4 Stoic strategies to prevent others from taking advantage of you. You will be surprised. Without further delay, let's dive right in. Number 1. You will have too high expectations for people. Maintaining excessively high hopes for people can lead to disappointment. The Stoics advocated for accepting things as they are, stressing the importance of not relying on external factors to bring happiness. They emphasized that we must not depend on other people and their actions to become happy. Offering support without expecting too much in return helps to avoid disappointment and fosters emotional detachment, contributing to a more serene mind. This makes you a calm person. What this means is that kindness itself can be done through simple acts of thoughtfulness that cost you almost nothing. It should never feel like draining your energy or sucking the life out of you. Whether consciously or not, true selflessness can be challenging when giving. Here's why. When we give everything we have, we expect everyone else to do the same. We might expect reciprocity, especially when we find ourselves in need. By consistently doing everything for others, we inadvertently create an expectation that we can handle not only our own responsibilities, but theirs as well. That we don't really need help. But if we ourselves neglect our own needs, why would others prioritize them? In reality, your hopes of reciprocity won't be met, and you'll end up with a negative emotional background noise, tiredness, anger, and even depression. Yet, if we look at it objectively, people aren't necessarily letting you down. They are merely doing what you should be doing, which is taking care of your own tasks and responsibilities first. A Stoic saying goes, "Be at least as kind to yourself as you are to others." Number 2. The feeling of obligation. People will always expect you to give them something, and this can become burdensome, especially after they've gotten used to it. The Stoics say that it's important to remember that real worth comes from acting in a way that is rational and logical, not from just doing what other people want and catering to their desires. There's a difference between being kind and being a rug, which is endlessly pulled around. Exercising moderation and helping only in a balanced manner enables you to maintain control over your actions and keeps you from getting into habits that deteriorate your own mental health. If we think about it logically, being kind should be a gesture out of strength, not out of weakness or obligation. You've heard your whole life that people are creatures of habit, and this couldn't be more true. Individuals naturally gravitate towards patterns, lifestyles, and the harmonious interplay of their surroundings. The idea of the comfort zone comes from this resistance to change. This means that if you're always giving, the people you help will expect you to give them something all the time and want more and more generosity. This perpetual giving can inadvertently make you part of their comfort zones, relieving them of certain responsibilities as you are constantly there to fulfill their every need. You have gotten in a slippery slope and are drifting slowly downwards, maybe without even noticing. But if you don't value yourself, no one is likely to look you in the eyes and tell you to think more about yourself. At least, don't expect such empathy, especially not from those you help. It is unrealistic, as they got used to you as their own version of a modern-day Robin Hood whose role is precious and they don't want to lose. Always keep in mind, when you overvalue someone, they will undervalue you in the same measure. Number 3. Your own aspirations may be overlooked. Your goals will not be considered. The Stoics emphasized that it's important to live by virtue, to set limits, and to put our own responsibilities first if we want to stay in balance and not give up our identity and well-being for other people. If you constantly put everyone else's needs before your own, you may end up running away from something inside you that hurts you, issues that cause distress and fear inside yourself. How do you feel when you spend the weekend alone or come home every day knowing no one is there to greet you? But on the other side, you would be there for others. Engaging in numerous activities to escape from oneself can intensify the impact. On the one hand, you'll have to face yourself sooner or later, and on the other, your bad mood will get worse as you start to put other people's needs before your own again. Essential to overall well-being is the practice of self-care. Before you can help others feel better, you need to make sure you're happy, spoiled, and well cared for. Imagine a doctor treating patients. If this doctor wouldn't take care of himself and his health first, he could not do his job. A sick and ill doctor is no help to anyone. Similarly, extending a helping hand, such as cleaning a friend's house, should follow after attending to your own needs, like tidying your own apartment and enjoying a relaxing moment with a movie and a glass of wine. In the grand scheme, the well-being of the world around you comes after attending to your own. Number 4. Being perceived as weak. People will think you are weak and treat you that way. Stoicism advocates for cultivating strength and self-mastery. Through establishing boundaries and practicing self-discipline, we can demonstrate our commitment to personal responsibilities and ideals, earning respect instead of being viewed as weak. If you help other people just a little, over time, you might be perceived as a nice and collaborative person. But paradoxically, you might be making the exact opposite impression when you don't set limits. People will start to see you as weak, just like the person who is always submissive to authority and in duty to others. So much so that they'll come to you to get rid of their responsibilities and offload their tasks and emotions onto you because they know you won't say no. However, using the power of a little word called no can evoke an unexpected response that was dormant. As soon as you use this magic word, they will start to feel something for you they never thought they would. And this feeling is called respect. While it may lead to fewer requests, those who approach you will do so with a newfound regard. It's a bitter-tasting medicine, but the patient might need it. Now they know how much worth your help carries. They might call you selfish at first, but this is only because they have gotten used to taking advantage of your kindness. Stoicism teaches us how important it is to be smart and wise by choosing who deserves your help. By exercising self-control and maintaining perspective, we can distinguish between genuine individuals and those seeking to take advantage of you. According to the Stoics, balance is key to every aspect of life. Don't let people trample on you, but don't abandon the ones that would help you back. This prevents wasting time and energy on unproductive endeavors. It's not uncommon for those perceived as good friends all of a sudden to only want to meet and talk to you when they need something. If you think about it logically, it's not so unlikely that this could happen to you, since most people behave as opportunists when given the possibility. But even if this may make sense, it absolutely doesn't mean it's fair. So, you need to learn how to handle the Stoic methods I'll tell you about at the end to keep people from taking advantage of you. Number 5. The imbalance of one-sidedness. You'll find yourself surrounded only by those seeking something, never by those willing to give. By exercising patient judgment, we can foster relationships that are genuine and mutually beneficial. Individuals enter our lives because their energies align with ours. When our vibrations are low, we attract negativity, depression, dark souls, and potential harm. Conversely, a high vibrational frequency draws people brimming with positive energy, kindness, enthusiasm, hard work, and joy. Because of this, when we give to everyone, we lose so much energy that we start vibrating at a low frequency. This makes needy people feel drawn to us, as well as opportunists who don't even want to help and only want to take what they can from us and leave without even saying thank you. Maintaining boundaries and steering towards your own goals, make sure you are not building someone else's dreams while you remain with nothing. Number 6. The downward spiral. There's a risk you could end up getting hooked on something detrimental. The Stoics taught people to be calm and in charge of themselves. Self-discipline in giving keeps us from getting stuck in bad habits and lets us keep a good relationship with our actions and choices. When emotional shortage is a regular part of our lives, the need for something positive grows, which is the best way to get addicted. Those close to you may observe excessive drinking, indulgence in unhealthy foods, or an excessive inclination towards gambling. Pay close attention to what someone who cares about you says, because your first instinct may be to get mad at them and tell them you don't have any problems. But this is how people usually act when they are so caught up in their own problems that they can't see that they themselves have one. Always bear in mind that individuals who genuinely care about you have your best interests at heart. So, paying close attention to their observations is crucial, as they are attempting to assist you in avoiding pitfalls and progressing forward. Number 7. People reconsider their perceptions. You'll make people think twice. Stoicism advises us to act virtuously irrespective of others' opinions. By focusing on living in line with our beliefs and principles, we build a good image that can withstand false accusations. Despite our desire for a different reality, and no matter how much we'd like things to be different, the truth is that there aren't that many kind people in the world. Consequently, rather than inspiring admiration and gratitude, your kindness may evoke suspicion from others. People will be suspicious of you instead of being impressed and thankful. They might think that you just pretend and you are an opportunist too. It won't be long before people may question the motives behind your benevolence, speculating on undisclosed plans or hidden agendas. While this could indicate you've met a group of suspicious people, it's more likely that they're just being honest. Most people nowadays who want to help too much are hiding such evil plans that it's best to stay away from them and refuse the help they offer. It's a sad reality. Now it's time to explore some powerful Stoic strategies and actions to prevent others from further taking advantage of you. Strategy number 1. Embrace the power of no. In alignment with Stoic teachings, recognize that your time and energy hold significance and should be used in a balanced way. Demonstrating self-control involves the ability to decline requests when you feel overwhelmed or when the demand is unreasonable or unfair. Despite the negative connotations attached to the word no, it's a skill worth cultivating even if it's normal for us, and we find it hard to say. It's especially difficult to say no if you are overly empathic because you care so much about how others are feeling, but it's essential. If we don't learn to say no when someone wants more from us than we can give, depression might take over our lives. Engage in self-practice. This can be in front of the mirror, and tell yourself that it's the only way to regain your freedom and avoid unnecessary and possible risks. The following Stoic words will help you with that. Repeat them to yourself daily if necessary. I will continue to practice kindness, care, empathy, and compassion with others, but I will maintain strong boundaries along the way and honestly communicate any issues directly. If someone repeatedly oversteps my boundaries, I will go no contact. My kindness cannot be weaponized against me, as I seek no validation outside of myself. Strategy 2. Identify energy vampires and distance yourself from them. Following the Stoic principles of self-discipline and wisdom, it's important to know which relationships are good for you and which can drain you mentally. By staying away from people who constantly drain your energy and don't add anything positive to your life, you're taking care of your own health and showing Stoic self-control in your relationships. You should know that if you try to help an energy thief, it won't work. These people overwhelm you with their complaints, their pains, and their relentlessly pessimistic outlook on life. Don't bother trying to help them, because if their problems were solved, they would have to stop complaining, and that's something they wouldn't tolerate. In accordance with Stoic wisdom, moderation remains the golden rule. Generosity, like any virtue, should be practiced with balance. Giving too little may lead to perceptions of selfishness, while excessive giving can deplete your energy, time, and possibly financial resources. Embrace the shades of grey, finding the optimal balance between prioritizing others and attending to your own needs. And if you're ever unsure, just remember the magic word, no. Strategy 3. Pay attention to your emotions because they convey valuable insights. Drawing from the Stoic principle of self-awareness, pay close attention to your emotions. The Stoics emphasized the importance of introspection to understand your own feelings and desires. By paying attention to your feelings, you can tell if you're giving too much and wearing yourself out mentally. This awareness enables you to shift your focus and establish a healthier balance. Reflect on how helping others makes you feel. Thinking about yourself and putting yourself first is such a kind thing to do that you should feel euphoria and be like you're walking on clouds when you do it. If, however, you find yourself feeling excessively busy, fatigued, irritable, or taken advantage of, then it's time to listen to how you feel. If something you don't have to do makes you feel so bad, you shouldn't lie to yourself about it. Instead, find out how the help you're giving affects your health. Strategy 4. Safeguard your designated time and space and respect them. Aligned with Stoic principles of self-discipline and self-respect, it's crucial to allocate time and space for self-care. Engage in activities you enjoy, such as exercise, drawing, or listening to music while sipping tea, or anything else that feels like you. Prioritize completing your own responsibilities promptly to make room for this essential practice. You should take this very seriously, so seriously that you should schedule this time every day or every week. So if someone asks for your help at those very moments of yours, they should approach you with kindness and understanding, respecting your need for personal time. So if you don't feel it, don't hesitate to decline without remorse. You tell them simply no and enjoy that time and space exclusively for yourself. If direct refusal seems challenging for you at first and you don't want to be so harsh, you can offer to help at a different time, but make it clear that your availability is limited because you have other commitments. This concludes our journey, and I genuinely hope these insights prove valuable to you.